Okay, so tonight, I think for the session, we'll go over this AMD model that played out on Friday. Now, this was I haven't seen it this clean in a while. We did, if you look in the NQ levels, I don't know why I didn't post it to my channel, but if you look in the NQ ES levels, I did post it in there. I think it's because it was the day after the wedding and I wasn't too really like looking at the Discord too much, and I just posted it in there for some reason. But anyways, yeah, we did call it out pretty well to the T. I said I'd like to see price manipulate down into the 15-minute imbalance and then distribute higher, right, to take out the equal highs. And it was a perfect model. And this is what it is right here, right? It's just AMD is just accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So we want to see price accumulate. Then we want to see it manipulate into some type of high time frame imbalance or high time frame PDRA, or it can manipulate down and take some like important liquidity, some external range liquidity. There's times where maybe it doesn't hit a PDRA, it just takes liquidity. And then after that, we want to see it distribute to some target, right? Like either an upside imbalance or mainly like equal highs. I like equal highs or equal lows, or a level that's above it or below it, right? So this is exactly what it is right here. We have our accumulation phase, and then manipulation phase, and then our distribution phase. Now, this is also the PO3, they call it, a lot of traders, but it doesn't have to happen on the PO3 is the 4-hour candle they're trading, right? But it doesn't always have to happen right at 10 or the 2 o'clock time frame. Like, you can see accumulation anytime and manipulation, distribution anytime. You just have to know how to identify it. And this is a perfect example where we manipulated before that, quite before that 10 a.m. Like, as soon as market opened, it manipulated down. And it was so obvious. Like, I was just looking at the charts, and I wasn't even on the charts long. Like, usually I'm on the charts at 7 in the morning. But I was on the charts at 8:30 looking for them, and I was like, this is so clean. This is exactly what I want to see happen. And we posted it, and it was exactly what happened, right? So this is exactly what it is. We'll go up onto the chart here, and I will just show you. We'll hop onto the 15-minute. And this is exactly what happened. So I'm going to delete this down here. This is like a exact picture of what I posted. I also did post it in the chat. So I think a lot of people did take this. Now, actually, I just want to go over one more thing. So after we accumulate, right? Then we manipulate, and then we distribute to the upside. So how do we catch an entry? Well, when we distribute down into a high time frame imbalance, right? So like right here would be our high time frame PDRA. So let's just say this is a 15-minute. Can be an hourly, can be a 30-minute. Now, how do we take the entry? Well, we want to see some type of inversion play, which would be a kind of a change in state and delivery, or a retrace back to discount and a fair value gap. So when price inverses the fair value gap, that causes the manipulation leg, that's where we want to enter when we inverse that, or we want to enter on some type of retracement back to discount. So say this comes down, taps discount. Also, if we have a fair value gap, that's a bonus, but we don't have to. If we just get that discount range, that's enough for me. If I see the clean AMD model and we've tagged a high time frame imbalance and we come back up and tap discount, I'll take it without the fair value gap. I definitely will. But we like to see an inversion or that tag of a discount range and a fair value gap, right? So if we look on the charts here, you can see this is exactly what happened. Oh, just a sec here. I gotta mute. Boom. Sorry, guys. So exactly what happens here. So this is what we're looking at, right? We can see that. Let's look at the overall larger time frame, okay? So I'm still bullish right now. Like with how the market's been moving, we keep taking equal highs. Like look, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. We had this push down, then we pushed right back up. Higher, low, higher, low. Now we did push down, but we've kind of found support down here, right? Like we didn't clear this low on this next leg down. So it's really just accumulating on all higher time frames. If you just look at that, right? Accumulation. Jump down onto the 1 hour, right? Ever since we had that big push down, it's just been kind of floating around here. No distribution or delivery to the upside or the downside. So I love the 15 minute. For me, the 15 minute just paints a nice picture, especially at market open. Now everybody's different. They look at candles and charts differently, right? But if you look, we come down here, we inverse this 15 minute. Okay, so now I see this. I'm like, okay, now these are levels that were on our chart for that day, right? So we inverse this 15 minute. We've swept this liquidity right here. So now I'm seeing some structure that, okay, it looks like we maybe want some upside today, right? So there's some buy side liquidity right there, or sorry, sell side. Change that to sell side. So we've came down, we swept liquidity. We're back above a level. So levels, a lot of the times they don't just get hit perfectly. Sometimes we'll sweep liquidity, then get back above it. Getting back above this level just tells me that we might see some more upside. If we stay below this level, then we're probably like downside, obviously, right? Lots of downside. So then we push back up, we inverse this fair value gap. We create this breakaway gap here and we don't even tag into it. That's showing me that it's very bullish, right? Like, see, we don't even tag into this breakaway gap. I call that a breakaway gap. It's basically a balanced PD or balanced price range now too, right? With these two fair value gaps. We then push up and have this gap, and this candle tags into it, but then we just kind of accumulate. We don't distribute to the upside. We don't really create. We have this little fair value gap here, but it's there's not even existent. It's just a tiny one, right? So then I found that this would be my accumulation right here. I'm looking at this as my accumulation. So let's just put that a different color here. So now we're seeing that the market is looking bullish, right? We're holding bullish PD arrays. We swept liquidity. We inversed this fair value gap. We got back above the level. We've been taking these highs right here, this buy side liquidity, but we haven't had a change in stated delivery. We've taken this and haven't came down. So now if I just zoom out a little, there's these equal highs here right at my level. Now this was my target. Right here, we got these equal highs right at my level. And this is what I posted out to the chats. I said this looks like a really clean AMD model. I would like to see, I even drew the arrows out. I'd like to see price come down, tap into this 15-minute imbalance, and then continue to the upside, taking these highs. And I want you to go look at the NQ ES levels and look at what I posted just so you can see, so you can get my mindset on this, right? So this is exactly what we were looking at. And what did we do? We came down, tapped into it, pushed up. Now, if you look here, we almost tapped this level perfectly. So I would have been out most of my position there, if not all of it. I'm not going to be, I like to call it a dick for a tick. Like if you look, those equal highs in that level, the high of this candle right here is 43 and that level is 44. 1 point away. So maybe our level's off by a point. You know, maybe it did tap the level. But how are we going to get an entry on this? Okay, so how are we going to get an entry? So now we have our accumulation. We have a 15-minute imbalance. We see price manipulate down. Let's go down to the 5-minute, right? You can see price manipulate down. Let's go down to the 2-minute because this is where, as intraday traders, this is mainly what we're looking at, right? So we'll just zoom out here. Now, the 1 minute you could have traded it on too, but I probably would have taken this on the 2-minute. Let's jump onto the 1 minute anyways and just see what we get here. Yeah, so let's look at this on the 1 minute because I'm sure you guys have multiple time frames going, and sometimes you just have to find the 1 minute or 2 minute or 5 minute, whichever one has the sweet spot for the entry. So here's our accumulation, right? And then market opens. What do? We manipulate down into that high time frame imbalance. Let's just change this color here. Color you guys want, purple? We'll do purple. Now here is our distribution to the upside. And obviously when Powell came in, I don't think anybody expected this. We can't predict this candle. This is a news candle. But as soon as he came in, it just pushed obviously to the liquidity. That's all news does. News is all baked in, you guys. Where the drawn liquidity is where the drawn liquidity is. The news just pushes price there faster. Okay, so here's our distribution right here. Let's just mark that. So I just want to show you so then you see the model, right? Because this is a great model to trade. Okay, so we have our accumulation right here. And you can tell that's clean accumulation, right? Just tiny candles, no real fair value gaps. Look at this stuff, just accumulating. We then manipulate down into this high time frame PD array. So we got our manipulation. Now, where would our entry be for this? Well, we want to see some kind of change in state of delivery or a rebalance back down to discount. So if you see here, we have this fair value gap right here. So a 1 minute fair value gap. Got it as a 2 minute, but that's well, let me mark this properly actually. So we got our 1 minute fair value gap. So when we clear that high, that would be our change in state of delivery. I'm going to delete these so we can see it clear now, but just wanted to put those out there so you guys have them in your mind where you can see the clean manipulation. So now when we have a candle close above this fair value gap, that's showing me that price is most likely going to continue higher. And if you also look from this swing low to this swing high, what do? We come down like this bearish candle there. We come down and tag. We stay in discount. Even this swing high right here, right? This next candle opens and stays within that 60% range. So we can take our entry right here when this candle closes. Or if you want, you can set a buy limit right here and take an aggressive entry right here. And where's our target? Our target is this next level or those equal highs. Final target would have been the equal highs, the top of the range right here. But I'll be honest, you guys, I would have been all out here, guaranteed. Like I would have been trailing my stop. I probably would have exited the trade somewhere here because we're moving 60 points already. And look at the displacement we have, and you can see here we hold this fair value gap perfectly. So you could have taken some profits right up here, trailed your stop below this fair value gap, and then planned on hitting this, but you would have got stopped at break even here, right? Because if this candle came down, I hope that you all would have been stopped at break even. And where's our, you could have a stop loss below the gap, or you could have it below the candle that disrespected that fair value gap, right? So there's two entries. You can take an aggressive entry right when we push above that fair value gap, and lots of ICT traders will do that. They will set a buy limit at that fair value gap so it tags them in, because a lot of times you will get a candle push right through, right? When you see this type of setup. But I probably would have waited to see the close. I would have waited to see that close right there. So it would have been some drawdown, but I'm fine with a little bit of drawdown. That would have been 19, 20 points of drawdown. That's expected on NQ. You have to I'd say expect 30 points of drawdown on any trade on NQ. So just position size properly for it, right? So that's the AMD that I called out and that played out. But this is a good model. And the thing is, look at down here, we're not near any levels, right? Like we didn't trade down to our level here, and our target was this next level here. So when we're not near levels, we have models we can trade. You just have to be you just have to point them out, right? You have to see the repeatable setup. And my repeatable setups that I trade not near levels are my liquidity sweep model and this AMD model. That's pretty well it, PO3. And if you really look at this, this is actually a liquidity sweep model if you think about it, because we've swept all this liquidity right here, right? So that's all we're doing. We're sweeping this sell side liquidity. All this liquidity, all these lows right here got taken out on that push down. There's some basically equal lows there, right? So some sell side liquidity. So we come down, sweep all that liquidity, tap into a high time frame imbalance, inverse this fair value gap. That's enough for us to enter the trade. We've got liquidity taken. We have a high time frame imbalance tagged. Our PD arrays touched. We've actually came back down and held this discount range. There's our entry. And our final target would have been these highs. I don't think any trader would have, let this go red on them. Like you wouldn't have done that, right? So be realistic. I even, when I posted this and gave it to you guys, I said that's my target. And we pretty well tapped it. Like if I see this right here, the way I'm a trader, and I see price start coming down like that, I'm taking all my profits. I'm gonna take some on the way up. I'm gonna see if this gap holds, and then if we start to come down, I'm taking all my profits. Like if we get a 40-50 point move, like right here, this is, let me just get the right tool here. Even right to there, that's a 42 point move. Like to be real, I'd be taking 80-90% of my position off there. You guys know how NQ is. If you get 2 or 3 candles that go 40, 50 points, I really, really hope as traders, you're managing that trade properly and exiting like the full trade. If you try to get these full targets every time, don't get me wrong, you're going to have an awesome risk to reward, but there's going to be a lot of trades where you're going to be like, man, I wish I had have taken profit. So does everybody see that though? Just drop a 1 in the chat if you guys do see that model, because I want this one to stand out for you, right? Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Also too, we knew that news was coming at 10 o'clock. So when you get a move like this before 10 and you see a clean AMD model like this, like you got to take those profits. That's all there is to it. You got to take those profits. You can't be playing around with news. You know, if you hold your position and play like, don't get me wrong, look at this. This would have been incredible to catch. Could you imagine catching this whole play? Like literally this was called out. This whole move was called out, you guys. Now I did hop on live. I think Mags and a couple people were on live. I did hop on live for just a voice chat for like 5 minutes, but I was at a wedding. We had a big breakfast going on with the bride and groom. So I just said, listen, this is the only thing I'm looking at, you guys, is this PO3 or this AMD model. And it didn't happen at 10. That's what I mean. Look at this manipulation happened at 9:30, right? So a lot of people want the manipulation to happen at 10 because the 10 o'clock candle, they want to trade the wick of it. So a lot of the times they'll wait for the 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. candle to hit. And this would have been your manipulation, right here, but we already had the manipulation right here. So this didn't form on the 4 o'clock PO3, right? This was just an AMD model that happened right at market open. So just remember that. It doesn't always have to be a 4-hour PO3. You can get this at any time, really, right? But I did hop on live. I think there was only like 4 or 5 people in there, and I was kind of brief. I was only on there for 5 or 10 minutes. But we did talk about this, and it was just nice to see it play out. And I'll be honest, I had the hugest FOMO, like because I didn't trade it. I was at a breakfast with everybody, and I seen it play out after. I was like, wow, that was a banger. That was an absolute banger. But I know some people did catch it, which is nice to see. And could you imagine getting this whole move though? Like, man, I mean, I guess if you wanted to gamble the news and hold your stop maybe below the inversion gap, you know, a 50-point stop, you could have caught a massive move here, but I don't think too many traders are going to do that. That's, to be honest, it's kind of gambling, you guys. You know what I mean? We're here to take what we know we can get. And when we blast up, you know, almost the TP here, that level and these equal highs were my target. We were, what's that, 23, 42. Yeah, we're 5 points from the equal highs and a point or two from the level. So when you see price come back down, and right here is a perfect example. When you see us inverse this fair value gap right there, look at, there's your time to get out. You get out right here. Boom. Okay? Look at, we held this fair value gap. Price is continuing bullish order flow. We push up, we sweep this high, we inverse this fair value gap. Notice we hold it with those 2 wicks. See that wick, and then this candle closes below it. That's your time to get out of the trade, because look at that. You don't want to get caught in a pullback like that. So when you see that structure, just exit the trade. Don't be in your head like, oh, I wanted this to go to full TP. Look at the move we got. No, you have to trade what you see. And what we see right here is bullish PD arrays getting disrespected. Now, how do we hold this? We want to see this hold and continue higher, right? We want to see that fair value gap get respected. If it gets disrespected, it's been invalidated, and that's time to get out of the trade. You know, if you really think about it, the top of that wick there, you would have caught 63 points. That's a massive trade. Massive trade, okay? So that's the AMD model. That's what I was looking at Friday. Yeah, peace out, Trev. Have a great night. Stoked to be with you on the live tomorrow, buddy. So that's the AMD. That's the one we called out. So I just wanted to go over it with you guys tonight because I know we do a lot of the level stuff, but sometimes we need to touch on, you know, ICT concepts and other stuff too, right? So is that all clear though for you guys? Is there any questions on it? Now I'll hop on to NQ right now. And it's tough to say what's gonna happen this week. I'll be honest, Like if you look on the larger time frame, we're very bullish. I have a lot of levels here, but I just keep them all on my chart. I'm a level trader, so like we've taken out some of these lows, but we're just pushing. We're just pushing, right? Now we are in a daily imbalance, and me and Trev speak about this a lot. When we're in a daily imbalance, sometimes we get choppy price action. Sometimes it's just choppy for a couple days until we pick a direction. So we'll kind of see what happens. I'll be honest, I haven't really checked the economic calendar. I'm just getting back from my trailer today, so I'm going to see what kind of news we have. If we don't have any, it might be a choppy couple days because we're in this daily right here. We've traded back into a daily imbalance. We're also right in this 4 hour too. So to be honest, I'd like to see the 4 hour get disrespected maybe tomorrow or the next day, and then continuation higher. I want to see these all-time highs get taken again. Ultimately, I want to see these. I want to see us push for these. So that's really what I'm looking at in the larger time frame. I'd like to see this 4 hour imbalance get disrespected. I think if we clear this daily, then we have a lot of low resistance liquidity here, right? So this is just LR, a low resistance liquidity run. So if we invalidate this daily right here and this fair value gap, and we can catch some bullish structure, a good move off a level, then we have lots of buy side liquidity here, generated liquidity that the market should reach. And usually low resistance liquidity runs, they get taken quick. This is liquidity that if we get some bullish structure and some news pushing us, then we should take that quick. It doesn't always happen like that, but those are the low resistance runs that we like to see taken fast. So it's kind of what I'm looking at on ES. Now if we hop on to, or sorry, that was NQ. If we hop on to ES, let's just hop on to ES here. And we are, a sec. We're pretty well at all-time highs. So that's what I mean. If we take these highs and create some kind of SMT, then I'd like to see E or NQ fade to the downside. But if you look here, I'd be surprised if we didn't take these highs in the next couple days. I just like look at this, you know what I mean? Now it doesn't have to happen, but that's what I'm looking for to happen. And I don't like to have a bias. I don't predict anything. I'm an observer. I come in, I look at the chart, I see where my levels are, I see what technicals I have, and I just go with what I see. I don't care about anything else. Like I'm not stuck on this bias. If we get down below these levels and I see a sell setup, I will short it. No, short it all day long, right? So, but I'd like to see this taken. Now, if we do take this high on the daily here, like that high, and we can't clear one of these levels or we hold one of these imbalances, let's just see if we got something on the 1 hour. Yeah, like if we hold one of these imbalances, well, this is all just chop accumulation. So, but if we do create some kind of SMT and we have, displacement through a level, then I'll look for a short. But if I don't see that, then I probably won't just be shorting these levels just for seeing structure on a low. Like I'd like to see us go higher. I'd like to see us go higher, I guess is what I'm getting at. Now that's not a fixed bias that I have, but I would like to see either this high get attacked right here or this one right here. So kind of what I'm looking at the next couple days. Let's just see what we got on, let's just see here. I want to see on NQ. Yeah, we haven't really tagged into any daily imbalances down here. So I'm just running through it. Might better just run through it quick, right? Just to see what we got. Now this, we have respected this 4 hour right here. Right? So just looking at the structure, we've been holding this gap. Obviously this level down here, 23,094 has been a solid level. That's been a solid level. So let me just check. I just want to look back on our levels. And I hope you guys are doing this every day also. So I just want to see. Yeah, 23,094. I'm just trying to see when we created that level. Let me see here. I'm just looking back on our levels. 23,094 has been there for a while. So this level This has been a clean level, you guys. We've held it once. We've held it twice. We've held it again. So seeing that, plus this 4-hour imbalance be respected, I feel like if we can get above this fair value gap and this 4-hour imbalance, then we might have some room to the upside. So kind of what I'm looking at. Now, like I said, that could be invalidated. The market does what the market wants to do. But I'm just observing the charts and seeing the technicals I have. And I'm looking back how long this level has been respected. Once, twice, 3 times. We'll go down to the 1 hour. See what it looks on the 1 hour. Yeah, look at that. It's been tapped quite a few times, right? So, you know, I'd like to see some more upside. I'd like to see some more upside. I think Trump might try and pump it too. Crypto's kind of pumping. So we'll see what the big, you know, what Tesla, Amazon, see what all they're doing. And keep an eye out on what Trev's targets are too. And what Trev's saying. Because Trev and Trader Daddy, they are really good at tracking what the big, like, market cap, big stocks are doing, right? Like the big Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia. So if they get pumping, obviously the Nasdaq's gonna pump, right? So it's kind of what I'm looking at. That's kind of what I'm seeing this week. So tomorrow, you know, I don't have any predictions tomorrow. I'm gonna wait and see what I get in the morning, see what Asia session does, see what London session does, see where my levels are, see what's been respected, and then make my game plan from there. So let's just hop on to gold and see what we got. Same with gold. Gold went massive, just massive. So over. When it comes to gold, to be honest with you guys, if you guys watch me trade it, I really just wait until I see a level get hit, and then I jump back on the higher time frames. Like if I see we come down and we're respecting a key level, then I basically I'll jump back down to the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute really quick, and just take mental notes and see, okay, we are having bullish structure. If I get a buy set up off this level, then I'll take it. It's kind of how I trade gold. Because it's really, we're just in consolidation right now on gold. Like if you actually just look at this, all we're doing is consolidating, right? That's all we're doing. So it's kind of what I got for gold. We'll just see in the morning what happens. The 1 hour, yeah, it's just been consolidating here. So, anyways, is there any questions? I know it's Sunday night, and I know Trader Daddy is going live here in 30 minutes, so I don't like to cut into his session. And I really suggest you guys hop in on those. You know, his Zoom calls are great. I know he trades options, but, you know, it's just good to get in on that stuff for sure. Is there any questions on that AMD model that we had set up, or what we got going on with the NASDAQ the next couple days? Drop some ones. Anybody want to chat about anything or show their charts? Oh, is that sweet? Bernard posting the... So what do we got here? We got Monday. So Tuesday. Yeah, we don't have much. We got a lot of orange folder. Sweet. Thanks, Bernard. I appreciate you putting that up there. That's awesome. So Wednesday, nothing. Thursday and Friday seem like the days. We got unemployment claims, GDP, core PCE. So I don't know. It's tough to say what's going to happen this week. We got red folder, but that's for Canadian. Governor Macklin speaks. That won't move the market at all. So it's all, we got to look for the USD stuff, and even the GBP stuff. You know, that's 8:30. That's Canada and US at 8:30. So that might be Friday at 8:30 a.m. We'll probably get some manipulation or a good spike or a good sell off there. Now I'm not. I'm only available to trade Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday this week. So that's the only days I'll be live.